And this is a real treat for me because I remember watching this guy. I was a little rascal.
They had television back then.
They had television back then. But former Philadelphia Eagle, I think he went both ways as a linebacker and a center, and of course no other than Chuck Bednarik. How you doing, Chuck?
Okay, yeah, I was known to last at a 60-minute man. That's the way I know how to play football, and that's the way I did it all my life.
Well, I tell you what, you just don't see that today. Yeah, they did call you guys the 60-minute guys, going both ways.
He's the last guy to do it.
Last guy to do it. Holy cow! And I know, David, you keep up on these. Where does Chuck rank in the top 100 on the ESPN?
He is number 35. We just got off the phone with Lily Lanier, who is number 53. So we've had two of the top 53 linebackers of all time on our show today.
Wow, that's terrific. How you feeling, Chuck?
Oh, very good. When you go to church every morning, I'm a Catholic, and I go to bed early. I'm up at 6:30, and I go to 8 o'clock Mass every day.
Oh, God bless. I'm looking at your bio here. Heck, you were born May 1st, 1925, so right. that makes you a spring chicken at 85 for crying out loud.
That's right.
Wow.
I feel good. I tell you, I feel very, very healthy, and I think it's all because God's taking care of me.
That's terrific. Very few. Now, how many number one draft picks have we gotten, David, as the first pick of the first round? Chuck?
Ron
Yari, we've had on the show, and wow, this is a rarity here. This is real rare. Hey, Chuck, you had to feel pretty good, man. First pick in the first round, and of course, that was back in 1949. You mind me asking what your signing bonus was?
Yeah, I got a $3,000 bonus and a $7,000 contract, which totaled out to $10,000, which in those days was pretty good money.
Pretty good money, darn right.
Not quite enough to retire on, though.
No. Well, after practice, I used to sell concrete, so that's why I got the nickname Concrete Charlie.
No kidding. Well,
he didn't work for the mob.
We all had off-season jobs, Chuck. Even I came in the league in '77 and spent 9 years in pro football. I had off-season jobs every year. We just didn't, when you got mortgages and a family to raise. I mean,
right.
that's what it was all about. But right. I would have never ever traded in for anything in the world. It was just a great experience.
Chuck, I'm a Catholic too. Why don't you go to Notre Dame? You're supposed to. If you're Catholic, you go to Notre Dame for college.
Hey, my parents came from Czechoslovakia, and I was born in poverty in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. So things were tough as my life was going.
Just a lot of mills around there, right? Was that the primary?
Bethlehem Steel was the big one that kept them going.
Wow, terrific.
And football was your incentive to avoid those steel mills?
Oh, yeah. Well, I started in high school there at the Bethlehem High School. In those days, we went both ways. That's the way football was in those days. Today, it's pussycat football.
Yeah, you're most well-known for knocking Frank Gifford out of a game. He didn't play for 18 months. No one ever shut up Frank Gifford back in the day.
The only one that can do that is Kathy Lee.
Yeah, she's next.
You're not a big Kathy Lee fan?
Well, she says, Chuck Bednarik, what's that, a pasta? She called me a pasta.
Oh, wow.
Whoa. Them's fighting words, aren't they?
Yeah, so that's why I said you're next.
You played at 6'3", 233 pounds. That was a monster linebacker back in those days.
That was pretty big, yes.
Wow. I thought I as a fullback in college, I was 6'5", 255 back from 73 to 76. They thought that was big. But, man, I tell you, as a linebacker back in the late 40s and 50s, wow. I mean, you must have put a licking on a few guys.
Well, I'm down at 220 now, between 215 and 220.
Good for you.
Chuck, What do you think about today's players here, especially this Vince Young? He's fighting with the coach on the sidelines, throws his jersey at him, and then basically the coach says, you're never going to play for us again, and the owner comes back and says, no, I want them both to coexist.
I'll tell you, the sport today is altogether different from my generation. Altogether. I don't know. They ought to have a different name for it than football.
Yeah, gee whiz. I'm looking at here. Is that? Let's see. How many total years? 14?
14 with the Eagles, 4 at the University of Pennsylvania. So I played in Philadelphia 18 consecutive years.
Wow, that's a long time, 14 years. And obviously you sound great. You're moving around good. Any hip replacements, knee replacements, or anything?
No, I just got crooked fingers. So when I shake the hand of a little kid, I'll say squeeze, and they go, wait. I see this finger on my right hand is wire. It's way out there. They go, ooh, they start running.
You know what? We're gonna have a little break here in about 30 seconds or so. But anyway, with the new era of football, and you come from the old school and so forth. I mean, you're like me. I was kind of like the next generation from the 70s and 80s. But what a huge difference in today's players. I mean, they're
the whole world has changed. Everything, and sports, especially football. It stinks the way it's played today. God Almighty, I can't stand it.
Why can't you stand it?
No, I can't stand it. I won't go to any games.
Oh, wow. Hey, Chuck, thanks for coming on with us, man. We appreciate your time.